No, I think it's simple. I think it's just round of 16. Obviously, we want to win the game. Obviously, we don't have. It's not like in the league where we win and then we go home, or if we lose, if we lose, we're out of the tournament. We know the importance of this game, especially against Toluca and a big team in Mexico. So we're trying to match that intensity. Obviously, back-to-back games coming quick, but I think the guys are up for it. We're really excited to be in the position that we're in. So I think we're ready for tomorrow and going to give a good intensity for sure.
How are the bodies and the minds feeling given the short turnarounds in these games?
I think we got used to it in the beginning of the year with the MLS being kind of congested. I think the guys are, like I said, ready for it mentally, which is I think the most important part. I think physically all these guys can push and we're young, fresh. I think physically we're fine. It's the mental part that seems to affect most people, but I think the guys show in training that they're ready and in every aspect of the game and preparation, we're doing really well mentally, so I think we're all ready for that.
Speaking of the mentality part, again, you're facing your third straight opponent that you normally don't see on a year-to-year basis, went to Toluca here. How does your mentality in training change, and how does it change at home as well?
I don't think it changes. I think when we play at home, we're trying to give the fans a good game, obviously a win, obviously to try to score as many goals as we can and impose our game. I think that's the same mentality we're going with it as well. It doesn't seem too different of when we're in the league. Obviously, this is an opponent that we haven't seen much, so it's not like we can truly, really prepare like we do for the other MLS teams. But, we give them the respect. We give the respect to their players and their coaches. But, at the end of the day, it's up to us and how we perform.
I know you weren't here for this matchup last year, but do you feel around the locker room or at training any of the guys who were, approaching this with any ferocity given the result last year?
No, I wasn't here last year. I've heard from a few guys that they obviously did play him last year. I'm not even sure how the result went, but
4-1.
yeah, the guys aren't scared or nervous, or I think on the contrary they see this as a game that we can obviously win, especially at home, and honestly prepare for the next opponent. I think the guys are coming in with, I said, a good mentality and a good intensity. So I wouldn't even have known if that it was 4-1 last year.
What's your favorite part about seeing a different team every couple of days from a different league and competing against them?
I think you just get to see a lot of different fans come to the stadium. Obviously, when we're playing against these Mexican teams, the amount of people that come to the stadium and the different types of people, the different types of fans. I think it's interesting. Obviously the stakes are different, and you get to see the different performances and the different styles of play that these other leagues have. And I think sometimes we can use that to our advantage and learn from them, and sometimes it benefits us. So I think it's just it's an amazing tournament that I think we're trying to utilize every aspect of it and trying to make the most of it.
Curious your thoughts about Johnny against Juarez and really the past month, the things he's been able to do, particularly how important it's been without Kevin on the field.
No, I think Johnny is. I think every single winger and midfielder that we have has a, how would you say it, like an aspect or a skill set that makes them their own, and I think Johnny has obviously a little bit tough for him in the beginning of the year, like he said, but he's come to training with a mentality of kind of, I'm just gonna work and wait for my opportunity, and I think you've seen that even when he was on the bench coming in as a sub. He was giving good performances as well. Got an assist and a goal as off the bench. Obviously gets his starts, and he's been really important for us. Obviously in the last game, you see him with the goal and the penalty, causing the penalty. He's super dynamic and super dangerous in the attack. I think it's just something that he brings that obviously the team is benefiting from now.
Being able to look at some of the tapes from your last couple of games, what do you feel like you've been able to see against Leon and Juarez, and what do you think is going to be able to work well against Toluca here tomorrow night?
I think what I tell some of the guys is that we have to be able to suffer. I think it's not always going to be easy against, especially teams like Toluca and Leon and Juarez. Obviously, we had to suffer. Obviously, the last game, it was kind of tough for us in the first 20 minutes of the game. But I think the team was able to stay well, compact, and not shy away from being ourselves. And I think the result shows. Obviously, we had to come back in the half and end the half 2-1, and then obviously win the game. I think we can show that we have players that are really dynamic and cause these teams a lot of issues. So I think that's what we're going with for the rest of the tournament.
Seen Frankie yet?
I saw Frankie when he came in the bus, obviously for the training. super excited to see him. I think it was just like I said, I called him right after the game. I thought I was once I signed for the Rapids, we marked the calendar of when I was going to see him at Red Bulls, and obviously when things happened his way where he got his transfer, um, didn't happen, and it's just I guess fate that I had to see him here in Colorado and how it happened to be. So super excited to get to see him a little bit more and talk to him, but it's good to see him as well for sure.
How much would a quarterfinals appearance mean to you?
I think for me, so much. I think last year for us at my other team, this is the stage where we lost, and it was a point where we can see it, where it's super close. At the end of the game, these are playoff games, where one day, one moment can cause a win or a loss, and I think you can kind of start smelling the trophy. So for me, to be in a position again and to have the team that I have now and the momentum that we have and just the feeling of us actually being able to win, I think it would mean so much to us and for me as well.
How are these games, even going back to Salt Lake, your last MLS regular season game, going to help the playoff games in the rest of the year?
Like I said, these games are playoff games where one mistake, one moment can cause a lot of damage, or it can cause a lot of success. And we've seen it with some of our guys being on the end of the good part and creating goals and chances for us, like Johnny and Rafa in these last two games. But I think, like I said, being able to learn how to suffer against these big teams and these big moments, I think it's going to help us, obviously, when we get down to the later stretch where the games are super tight and every game becomes really important for us, and the pressure is a lot higher.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.